What is going on, everyone? TJ here with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports, and in this video, we're going to be building out a 6 flex slip over on PrizePicks, utilizing the site here at DGFantasy. And guys, my first overall play in our 6 flex slip, it's going to be CJ Stroud over 251.5 passing plus rushing yards. I'm going to break this down for you guys and tell you why I like this play, and we're going to go over the rest of the slip right now. Before we actually jump into the rest of the slip, guys, I am going to ask you for a few things. If you guys could please go ahead and hit that like button on this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. Also, if this is your first time stumbling upon the channel, welcome. You can go ahead and smash that subscribe button and make sure you turn on that notification bell. So whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. But guys, let's go ahead and build out the rest of our slip. All right, you guys, so we're going to be building out a 6 flex slip over on PrizePicks utilizing the correlation tool here at DGF. Yes, this is our brand new tool that we came out with. And all the correlation tool does is show you the highest correlated combos in a slip for a specific game. Now, with the correlation tool currently, we offer soccer, we offer NFL, and we offer college football. And we also offer these slips across multiple different DFS apps like PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play, and Jock Market at this time. Yes, we're working on adding more sports as well. But you guys can see the correlation tool here. We have a correlation performance graph which publicly tracks all of the slips that get populated to our correlation tool. And since 8/18, since we've actually been tracking all of this publicly, we're up over 144 units, a 32.75% ROI return. So some really good slips have come from our correlation tool, and we know that's going to continue. And guys, this weekend, we have a ton of slips already in the chamber, ready to be entered. But obviously, we just built out, or I gave you that first leg in this Steelers-Texans correlated slip with CJ Stroud over 251.5 passing yards plus rushing yards, and this is the slip that we're actually going to be building out over on PrizePicks. Now, the reason we're building out a 6 flex slip over on PrizePicks and we're trying to correlate is because correlation right now is the biggest edge in DFS by far, right? So if I wanted to make a slip over on a sports book and a same game parlay for specific plays, they're going to alter my payout because of the correlation that I'm trying to come up with on a sports book. But here on PrizePicks and all those other DFS apps, we can get away with correlation and we don't have to worry about a payout shift. So if I take just 6 random plays, 25 times payout is what I should get. We'll put more or less on a bunch of these. And here we go. It doesn't matter if I take the over or the under on any of these specific players, my payout will always be 25 times. If I were to do this on a sports book, I would not get the same return, and I also wouldn't get that flexibility, right? So if I go 5 of 6 on a slip, I get a 2 times return on PrizePicks. If I go 4 of 6 on a slip on PrizePicks in a 6 flex, I get a 0.4 times return. So a way better bang for your buck playing correlated slips over on these DFS apps. And because the edge is so strong right now with positively correlating slips on these DFS apps is so strong right now, that is why we came out with this correlation tool. So again, if you guys want to hop on board, you can go to dgfantasy.com/correlation, or you can just go to our home screen and head over to pricing, and that will bring up the subscription options that we currently have. Guys, up 145 units so far since publicly tracking. And hey, if you're not even a DGF member or you don't have the correlation subscription package, you can still publicly track our plays without being a member. You just go to this screen and you can see how well the correlation tool is actually doing with all of the slips that we put to our site. So we can see here we got soccer on the docket for today, we got soccer for tomorrow, and then we have all of these positively correlated slips here that are ready to be entered. 86 current slips, and there will be way more throughout the weekend. But enough of that hoopla, guys. Let's go ahead, jump in. Let's talk about this Steelers and Texans game stack, this positively correlated slip that we're going to be entering. Drum roll, please, and here it is. This is the slip that we're going to be entering, taking directly off the correlation tool here at DGF over on PrizePicks. This is a fantastically correlated slip. We're going to be entering CJ Stroud over 251.5 passing plus rushing yards, which I did mention at the beginning of this video. We got Kenny Pickett over 222.5 passing yards. We got Dalton Schultz over 28.5 receiving yards. We have George Pickens over 56.5 receiving yards. We have Robert Woods over 34.5 receiving yards. And last but not least, this man's been great so far this year, Tank Dell over 44.5 receiving yards. We have a profit margin percent of over 211 and an 84.4 correlation score on this specific slip. So let's go ahead real quick and talk about positive correlation and why we want to be entering correlated slips on these DFS apps. For starters, positive correlation, it simply means outcomes that are more likely to happen together. So in this slip specifically, we have CJ Stroud over 251.5 passing plus rushing yards. And again, we have all overs throughout this slip. So between the Steelers and Texans, what do we want? We want a lot of offense. We want a lot of throwing, and we want a lot of points. So if CJ Stroud is going to go out and throw for 250 plus passing yards, I know rushing yards are incorporated in this specific play, but if he's going to go out and have a good game offensively, that means some of his receivers, like Robert Woods and Tank Dell, and even his tight end, Dalton Schultz, is going to benefit from CJ Stroud throwing the ball a lot. Now, in this specific case, the Steelers are favored. So what we're actually going to want here in this slip, Kenny Pickett to come out, go for north of those 222.5 passing yards, obviously. Hopefully, George Pickens can get a bulk of those receiving yards. If, in fact, Pickett is going to have a good offensive game, that means it's more likely that somebody like George Pickens is going to have a lot of receiving yards because they correlate one another. Those outcomes are more likely to happen together. If Kenny Pickett's going to go out and throw for 400 yards, we're not going to see George Pickens only have 10 receiving yards. That's just a real unlikely occurrence. It would be more likely for George Pickens to go way north of that 56.5 receiving yard number. So if the Steelers can get out to a lead and the Texans have to play keep up, that means CJ Stroud's going to have to throw the ball more, which in fact means Dalton Schultz, Robert Woods, Tank Dell are going to have more opportunities to have more receiving yards. Now, I know some of you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, well, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Take the overs on quarterbacks and the overs on their receivers, right? If it's a high-scoring game, a lot of points, the quarterbacks are going to have to throw and play well, and the receivers are going to benefit. And that might be the case for this specific slip. But throughout all of these 86 current slips, there are a ton of different combinations that are populating as the best correlated slip for what's on the board currently for that specific game. There could be tackles plus assists, interceptions, fantasy scores, receptions, punts, field goals made. All of those are different types of player props that you will see in these slips. So it's not just as straightforward as taking the overs on quarterbacks and receivers. Yeah, that's going to happen sometimes because that might be the highest correlated pairings that we can actually have in this specific slip, but it's not always going to be the case. So again, guys, that is going to be our 6 flex slips specifically for this Steelers and Texans game this weekend. Again, it's going to be CJ Stroud over 251.5 passing plus rushing yards, Kenny Pickett over 222.5 passing yards, Dalton Schultz over 28.5 receiving yards, George Pickens over 56.5 receiving yards, Robert Woods over 34.5 receiving yards, and Tank Dell over 44.5 receiving yards. And guys, that is one slip just for PrizePicks. Now, if you've stuck with me and you're still watching this video, first and foremost, I love you and thank you. Secondly, if this video alone gets 100 likes, I will go ahead and post another slip in the comment section of this video. And it will be for whatever is the best underdog slip at that time, okay? So if this video gets 100 likes, I will post the highest rated underdog slip at that time of the video getting 100 likes. So if you guys are still in here, smash that like button. I'd love to post another slip for you guys in the comment section of this video. And guys, that is going to do it for this video. That is our 6 flex slip over on PrizePicks. And again, we do have the chance to post one more slip in the comment section if this gets 100 likes. A 5-pick non-insured slip over on UD for whatever is the highest rated slip at that time. So make sure you hit that like button. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're going to be tailing at least that PrizePicks slip, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure, again, you hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and turn on that notification bell so whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I love you, and let's cash.